I've spoken about this many times in many ways before, but, I just feel that from time to time I kind of have to speak on it again because we need to remind ourselves, We kind of have to, you know, encourage ourselves with these things, and we have to let ourselves know that when certain people bring certain messages around us, say certain things, behave in certain ways, that affects our energy, that affects our vibe, and we have to leave these people alone, or we have to get them out of our space. Let's say that you're doing something, and I'm just going to go right into it. Let's just say that you're doing something, and let's just say that you got a certain momentum going. Let's say you're trying to accomplish a task. Let's just say you're studying, okay? That's a good one. Let's say that you come home from school and you're studying. You're in the mindset, you're in your schoolwork, you're focused on your studying, and you got that energy going, you're focused on that work and everything. Then all of a sudden, your sister, your brother comes in the room making a whole lot of noise, asking a whole bunch of questions and everything. Now they see you studying and you're in the mode. They're distracting you. They see what you're doing. All of a sudden, you took your focus off of your what you were looking at. Your brain waves are distorted. All of a sudden, you're paying attention to them. The clock's ticking. And whatever it is they've got to say and what they're talking about is total nonsense. It's not important 9 times out of 10. Or they just want your attention. And by the time it's over with, you looked up hours past the time that you were supposed to spend studying. You either have lost the time and don't get back to it, so you can't accomplish what you need to accomplish and you're pissed off. Or when you do try to go back to it, you can't go back to focus or get back into that energy that you were in to really get in tune with what you were trying to study, or get back into the mindset to absorb the information that you were trying to absorb. So you all thrown off. Simple solution. Next time that you're studying, lock the damn door. The next time you're studying in that room, lock the door. And if that person want to pound on the door and everything else, or better yet, just let them know ahead of time, look, I'm studying right now, I don't need to be disturbed. And if they act like they don't want to be, but if they don't want to respect that, they don't want to pound, if they want to pound on the door, put some headphones on or some earplugs where you won't hear them. And do your studying. Or better yet, go to the library. People do it all the time. They got study rooms in the library. Go to the library. I've done it on many occasions. Go to the study room at the library, or find a very quiet section of the library in the stacks. I remember back in the day when I used to go to the library, I used to go to the stacks. There would be little desks set up in the stacks area, like toward the end. And a lot of people don't know. You go to the library in the area where the stacks are toward the end, at the end of the row. Excuse me. You'll see a little desk there with a lamp, chair. You can sit right there and study. And a lot of people didn't know that there would be, a setup right there in the stacks with all the books and stuff. You don't have to be in the general population. You could be right there and study. If you can't get a study room, because I know sometimes study rooms are packed, especially during midterms and finals. And you just study there as long as you can. It's amazing how much that quiet time, that isolation, how much you can get accomplished in a fraction of the time that you would get if you were in a distracted environment. But do what you got to do. Get away from them. Get away from them. Or if you're in a situation where, let's say you're at a gathering, and let's say you're trying to accomplish something at your job, or you're trying to get a business venture off the ground or whatever, and you're at a gathering around family or whatever the case may be. People turn around and ask you what you're doing, and then when you turn around and tell them what you're doing, then they want to turn around and badmouth the situation. That's the thing I don't understand. My thing is this. Don't turn around and ask me what I'm doing in my life, and then when I tell you, you're gonna turn around and badmouth my situation. What the hell you ask me for if you're gonna turn around and badmouth my situation? You're wrong for that. You're wrong for that. If you're not gonna encourage me, then don't ask me about my situation. But you're doing that because you're either jealous or you feel left out or you want to try to put yourself above me. Try to make me look bad or embarrass me, so try to make yourself look good. I mean, it's just a sinister thought. It's really nasty. People like this you don't need to have around you when you're trying to accomplish something in your life, people. You really don't. And I don't know how many times I need to say this over and over again. And some of you act like that you are chained to this person 24/7, 365 because of a bloodline or because you work with them, and that's not true. You can distance yourself from these people. If they are not good for what you are trying to pursue, and you know what you're trying to pursue can elevate you and make a better life for you and the people around you, and this person has a problem with it, you're gonna have to distance yourself in some way, form, or fashion. Even if that means you gotta move out, or if you got to file for a divorce, whatever it is that you got to do. Because if they can't get on board with something good that you're trying to do, you see how that doesn't make any sense? You're trying to do something good and something better. And this person has a problem with that. Now, the last time I checked, anything that's opposite of good is bad, right? Anything that's opposite of good is bad, right? Y'all tell me in the comments, isn't the opposite of good bad? So when you're trying to do something good, trying to do something better to make things better for everybody, for the greater good, and you have someone who's always trying to come at you and prevent you from doing something good because of their messed up programming or their lack of understanding or ignorance or whatever the case may be, then how are they being good? How are they good for you? How are they? So what they need to do is they need to be placed in a spiritual timeout for a while. Now, am I saying that they're not going to get the message? A lot of them do. A lot of them get the message, but usually it's later on, after the fact, after they see the fruits of your labor, after they finally realize, the light bulb goes off and they realize, oh, that's what they were trying to do, because, see, they finally see the end result of what you were trying to do. See, they couldn't see. They didn't have any vision. They didn't understand. They didn't have the wherewithal to put two and two together. And now they see the result of what you were trying to do. They're like, oh, I understand now. So now they get it. But now while you're going through it, not getting it right now. So what they need to do is get out the way and let you go ahead and do what you need to do to make it happen. Not stand in your way, not interfere, not flap their gums, not throw up roadblocks, not try to cut your bank account off, not try to cause arguments, not try to keep you up at night, not try to interfere with your studying, not try to have affairs on you, not try to take the car away from you, not try to take stuff out your name, not try to not pay bills, not try to get you evicted when they know bills are due, not try to put financial strain on you, not try to cause confusion in your household, not try to cause you say, I say, try to throw you off your game. All these little simple things just to get your attention, because they're mad and jealous because they're putting the attention that they want you to have on them onto something else, because they don't understand what the hell you're doing, because they're not a part of it. They don't get it, don't understand what it's like to want to have more, to be ambitious. They don't get that. So because they don't understand it, it's bad in their book. Anything foreign or new that they were not raised up around, they interpret it automatically as being bad. And that's the problem with a lot of grown folks in this world right now. They automatically assume that if it's not anything that they weren't raised up around, that it's instantaneously bad. And that's the damn problem. And because they're programmed that way, they figure that anybody who comes along that is different than what they were raised around, that they automatically assume that that person is wrong, that person is bad, whatever they do, think, or say is going to be wrong. So they're going to dump on anything that comes out of them. Until, of course, they produce something that they want. See? There's too much bullshit involved with this. Too much negative energy, too much bullshit. So these type of people you're going to have to keep at a distance. And if it's because of a blood tie, you're going to have to just love them from a distance and just keep them away from you. You're just going to have to keep them at arm's length at all times. Because even after dust settled and they so-called have an epiphany, the question still remains. Okay, you realize now. But you always have to ask yourself, do you realize now because you see the fruits, or do you finally realize now because you understand? See, you'll never know the answer to that. And is that a risk you're willing to take? Only Spirit knows. So just keep it moving and keep strong. Sometimes you got to take walks by yourself. Sometimes it's just you and Spirit. Now, how many times in my life that I have told myself, it's just you and me, God. It's just you and me. And I was okay with that. Because you got God, shoot, you don't need nobody else. Sometimes there were situations where it was just me and God. And that's a lonely damn feeling sometimes. But sometimes that's all you need. So just be careful who you have around you when you're trying to accomplish something. Please. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Peace.